Hi guys, Yana from Sip and Dip here, and we're going to do our mental health minis today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screen facing down at my work so that you can follow along. And we're going to walk through how to do the first piece that we're doing for mental health minis. So for anyone that doesn't know, mental health minis are basically, we're putting together free little tubs of paint packs and little booklets that people, if you find yourself out of a job, come down and pick one up, and you can join us for free art classes every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. So today we're painting sunset. So what I'm going to do is move this so you can see my screen, my canvas even. All right. And we shall walk you through how it works. Rightio. So what you will need for this piece, I'm using a canvas today just because it was the closest thing I had to me, but you will need something to paint onto. So this could be a canvas, it could be paper, it could be the back of a cardboard box. Really, it doesn't matter what it is as long as you've got something you can paint onto. You will need a cloth, and this will just be for washing your paintbrushes. You'll need a couple paintbrushes, and the colors that I'm using today are yellow, orange, black, red, and purple and white. Now you can do this class using watercolors, tempera paint, you can use it acrylic colors, and or even oils. It works on all of them, so whatever you've got available, you're welcome to use that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. I'll be using a tapered brush, so I don't know if you can see that. It's just a very simple tapered brush, not too big, gives me plenty of control. Give it a good wash with some water, and then we're going to start on our background. Now I'm doing this landscape today. You can do it portrait, it's really up to you. I'm doing it landscape just because of the space I've actually got to work in. So what we're going to do is start with the background. So I'll just bring this up so you can see the top. We will start with a dark purple. And what you're going to do is add a bit of water to your dark purple to make it a little bit more fluid. And we're going to do an arc. So going backwards and forwards like this. And we're going to fill that up to the top here. And what I might do is actually put the Facebook Live on my computer so that if anyone has any questions, I can answer them as we go, because my computer, my thing is hovering directly above me and I can't see what's going on. So give me 1 second and I'll have my live up and I can answer questions as they come up. Hey Ree, how you going? Good to see you there. All these people I'm noticing online now. Who else have we got? Hello Alison, how are you? Good. Will these videos be available on replay? I'm working now. Yes, they absolutely will be. They're just Facebook Live, so they'll be saved to our video library. I will also upload them to our, YouTube account. At the moment, if you've been trying to get our videos off YouTube, you will find a bunch of them have been banned because Yana forgot to turn the radio off in the background, which was kind of, well, not really funny, but it was kind of annoying because now I've got to go and re-upload everything. But that's no stress, no big deal. The videos will be up shortly along with all the tutorials for all of it. But yeah, they will be definitely, Louise, they will be saved there. All right, so you want to make it quite dark, quite a dark purple. Because our light source is going to be around the bottom part of the picture around here, you want these top corners to actually be quite a bit darker than anywhere else in the picture, because that's where we're going to plant all our stars to make sure that that they stand out. So nice and dark. Again, you can be using watercolor paints for this. You can be using tempera paints. You can even use oil paints. Whatever you've got around the house is fine, and you don't need a canvas to do it. You can do it on the back of a cardboard box. Any sort of paper, butcher's paper is fine. It really doesn't matter as long as you are getting creative and you're enjoying the experience of painting. All right, so I've got my background done now. So this is our background. This is the darkest part of our painting, and I'm doing it in purple today because we're painting the sunset one. So if you want to go and have a look at this piece, you can go into our online store and you'll see there is a pack available for it. This is the one called Sunset. All right, so I'm going to give my brush a wash now, and I'm going to use my cloth and give it quite a good scrub. I don't want any of that color left on that paintbrush. And then I'm going to swap to red. I've got a fire engine red here that I'm going to use. You can use any color you like, but we're just going to start to apply some paint. Again, if you're finding that so if you can see here, the white is coming through of the canvas. If you're getting that, you want to add a bit more water to your paint in order that it's sort of, the viscosity levels are lower and therefore it blends across and moves across your painting a little bit easier. So we want to do, it's going to start to look a bit like a rainbow, and that's okay for the time being because we're going to blend it all together shortly. But you do want to have probably about an inch, I would say, about an inch of red paint coming in underneath that purple. All right, so just like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so now what you want to do is with a wet brush, you don't actually need any paint to do it, we're going to blend these two colors together. And the way you do that is by going backwards and forwards over that spot and slightly moving into the darker color. So you will find going backwards and forwards, they start to blend, you get this blendy look to it. Backwards and forwards. And I am painting this one in landscape today. The example online is portrait. I'm painting it in landscape literally just because of the space I have to work in today. All right, so we've got some blending going on. That's awesome. We're going to swap now to orange, and surprise, surprise, we're going to do exactly what we just did. So give your brush a good scrub on your cloth, give it a good clean, and then we're going to do it with the orange this time, coming in underneath, which is beautiful. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. So giving it a good another inch of colour. Sorry, I'm just online. Won't be a moment, guys. How can I help?
Oh, just from the panel shop next door.
Oh, you're just dropping those?
Yeah, come and bring you a couple of gifts.
Oh.
Friends of ours make some candles.
Oh, aren't you
And
lovely?
there's my business card if you ever in any trouble or need a hand.
Thanks, mate.
Or like the Nicole and all that, they have courier deliveries. We're open all the time, so if you're not here, get them dropped off here and then I'll text you.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Lovely to
look
meet
after
you.
yourself.
Yeah, you look after yourself too. Take it easy, eh? Sorry, I just had a visitor in the studio. The guy that owns the panel shop next door has just dropped in some beautiful bath salts. So I give him a bit of a plug. He's just said if there's ever anything he can do, that he's here. So isn't that lovely seeing the community coming together? All right. So again, I'm going to get a bit of water, get my paint to move a little bit more smoothly across the top of the canvas there, and then I'm going to blend them together using a bit of water. So you can see that you're starting to get the blending between the colours. That is what we want. We don't want big block colours there. If you're getting big block colours, you need to go over it again, backwards and forwards, and you will find eventually through that motion it is going to blend wonderfully. All right. So, big scrub, big wash, give it a wash, give it a scrub on your cloth, make sure that we don't have any of that old paint. We're going to swap to yellow now. And again, a good 2 inches of paint, or maybe about an inch. With the yellow, you tend to put a bit more in. I know, Christine, isn't that so sweet? I just thought that was lovely. I'm going to have to pop over and say thank you to him. He said if they're there early, so if we've got any couriers coming to collect things, we can tell them to collect from there. Isn't he sweet? So nice. So we're at 98 Brisbane Terrace, and they're the panel shop next door. So they're just, isn't that beautiful? So nice. See, this is what I mean. The community is really just pulling together wonderfully at the moment. And it's nice to see such human sides to people. It's beautiful. I think it's lovely. So, yeah. So I am just doing a little bit more with the yellow. We're going to actually put more of the yellow in the front here. I'm just adjusting it because I am doing a landscape version of it. Most people will be doing a portrait version. You will find it online in our store, although you don't need to buy the pack there to be able to do it. You can use watercolors, tempera paints, all sorts of stuff. As long as you've got color, you've got the ability to do your painting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to blend the yellow and the orange together. So again, backwards and forwards over that join, and eventually it will be forced to blend. So if you're not comfortable with blending or you haven't done it before, literally Go backwards and forwards, and you will eventually get the colors to blend. When it comes to the lighter colors blending, I tend to use a bit of the lighter color to help blend it. So in this case, yellow, to get that blend going. There we go. But we're getting a nice looking rainbow sky there. So I'm going to give my brush a bit of a wash, just so that I can finish it off with yellow. We're going to bring it right down now and block it off because our mountains go over the top of this. So I am doing this quite quickly today because I do have people watching how it works. The video will be saved to the Facebook playlist, so you'll be able to come back if you missed a step, and just repeat them or check in on it. I'll also release a PDF. I've got one for this class, so I can release that one with the step-by-step. So if you lose your way, you can double back and go and have a look. If I was teaching this in class, we would be going much slower, but just because it is on live and I know people are watching, we're just going nice and quickly today. All right, so we have our rainbow looking sky. At this point, I like to go back through and just make sure that everything is blending well. I do that with just a bit of water on my brush, going from light to dark, because if we go from dark to light, you're going to find that the colors sort of all turn into whatever is the darkest color that you're blending with. So anywhere that I'm seeing that I'm getting definitive lines of color, I am just going backwards and forwards, blending them in that arc shape, moving my way out until we get out to the darkest parts of our piece. So that's looking really good. That's pretty much exactly what we're chasing. All right, so the next step is we're going to put some stars on, and the reason that we do this instead of the hills first is we want this yellow to dry just a little bit before we go covering it in purple and black. So you want to swap to a smaller brush. If you're using our 7-packs, I'm swapping to the blue brush, but it can be any sort of brush. I prefer tapered brushes just because I feel they're more versatile, but you can use whatever feels good for you. I'm going to use this, and what we're going to do is we're going to get some white paint, and we are going to put some spots which are going to be stars. So with your stars, if you've done a class before with me, you will know you want big ones, you want little ones, you want light ones, you want dark ones, but you want them concentrated away from wherever the light source is in your picture. So because the light source is down here, you are unlikely to see stars in a sunset around this space, but you will see it on the peripheral, so that's why we're putting them up around those spots. You can flick in this one as well. We have teachers that teach the flicking off the back of this one, and that's pretty fun. So if you want to mess around a little bit and have a bit of fun, you can flick your stars on. I also like to put star trails onto mine. Not everyone does, but I think they look pretty cool, so that's what we're going to do. So putting all my stars in, finding it a bit difficult to see with the glare actually, so I might just stand up, getting to the business end of things. So I'm concentrating my stars off on those edges. Hey Jill, I see you there. Hey girlfriend. Good, good, good. I've got this one little tail sticking out. He's messing up my stars. There we go. There you go. So lots of stars in that purple section. Fewer stars in the red section. I'm just using the tip of my brush. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments there. I'm looking up and just checking them all out. Beautiful. Starting on the other side there. So bigger stars, some smaller stars, light ones, dark ones. You can mix a bit of the white paint with water to make them look a bit more faded. If you want to get really tricky, you can make some yellow ones in there as well. As long as you're concentrating them towards the edge of your artwork, you're good. Fewer stars in the red section, and probably no stars really in the yellow section. I'm going to put some star trails on mine too, because star trails are my jams. I don't know, I look up into the universe and I'm like, I want to go there. Why can't I go there? So I think anything that looks like it belongs out in space works for me. So I'm going to put some star trails in. So almost done with my stars. Beautiful. All right, so we've got stars going on. That's looking good. Now we want to put some star trails. So star trails are literally just lines, just like this. They could be shooting stars. Oh, I've just dropped a bit of thing onto my canvas. No, don't go there. Come here. I have to smooth that out. Yarna's made a mess. Beautiful. All right, I might pop another one in here. I can't get over how lovely that was of that man next door. Aren't people awesome? Seeing the best in people at the moment, I think, with all these changes. Might put another one up here. Had quite a few visitors to the studio today to come and pick up paint supplies and things like that, which has been pretty cool. It's lovely seeing people's faces, even though we can't stand anywhere near you when you arrive. It's still nice to see you. All right, so we have our stars, we have our star trail, we have our background. The only thing left to do is to put in our mountains. And again, I'm working really fast today just because we are on Facebook Live, but you can take your time and do this in your own time. So I'm going to use purple first. We're going to put in a mountain in the background. So I'm going to put a bit of purple on my palette, and then I'm going to mix probably 1 part purple to 1 part white, so that we can make a lighter purple to do our hilly background. And you want it to be lighter than the dark purple in the corners of your work. So I would say 2 parts white to 1 part purple, mix it around. You should have a color that's looking a bit like this. Mix, 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 mix. Doesn't matter too much which brush you choose to use for this point. It's up to you. Generally, I'll probably use 1 brush a lot of the time rather than swapping between a bunch, but today I'm just going to use the blue brush in our pack. Any sort of small tapered brush would be suitable. And we're going to draw our mountainside. So in nature, ask yourself, do the hills and everything look perfect in nature? And the answer will always be no, they are not perfectly symmetrical. Which is perfect for what we're doing. We don't want them to be. We want them to look like mountain ranges. So you just want to take a fine brush, fine tapered brush, and we want to create a hilly background with the purple color that we've just created. Again, for anyone that's just popped on, I'm doing this in landscape. The picture is in portrait orientation. I'm doing it in landscape today, basically because this is the room I've got to work with. So we're just going to paint in now that section. I might swap to a bigger brush for this just to get it going. It's perfect. Beautiful. And you can, the water, I mean, if you're using these paints, I'm using poster paints today, which is basically a watered down acrylic. So we have to use those in our classes because we're out in cafes and things and they don't like the paint getting on the floor. But you can use different colors, different consistencies of paint, and you'll find that if you're using a thicker acrylic, you probably won't need to go over anything. The acrylic pigment is so thick. There's no issue, but if you're using a paint like what I'm using, you may find you need to go over it once just to get a really vibrant color once the water has evaporated off. So for anyone who has lost their jobs through, off the back of this whole coronavirus thing, we are giving out little mini paint packs for those people, so you can just message the page and say, I've lost my job, I want to join in on the mental health minis, and we will very gladly prepare you a pack for collection here at the studio, or we can post it to you depending on where you are. I've got my very serious artist face on right now with my perfectly imperfect hills. Beautiful. I will probably need to go back over this back section of mine, just because some of that paint was still wet and I am working so fast. Usually when I teach a class, I've got little breaks in between and my paint dries, but not today. Serves me right for being so quick. Beck, please be available for replay. My kids weren't ready. Yeah, that's totally cool, Beck. It's going to be saved under the video section. So just after this live is finished, you will be able to go into the videos on our Facebook page, and you will be able to play it back and follow it through step by step. And you'll be able to pause it then too, because this is live. You can't pause it, but you will be able to pause the video off the back of it. No problem at all. All right, so I've got my purple hills in there. Mine are a little bit lighter than my original piece, but I don't mind. I'm feeling the purple vibes today, so we're gonna go with purple. Light purple vibes. We do have this pack for sale in our Facebook page if you're looking to, because I often get questions, where do I get the paint from? You can get it from us. We do it up in little tubs, which is a bit cheaper than having to buy the whole bottle. If you do want to buy the whole bottle, we have some stock. If we don't have it, Welcome Homes and Gifts over in Goodna will have it. If you're looking to do that. And of course, if you've lost your job, this is here as a free class, and we do want to promote mental health well-being, so please just PM the page. There is absolutely no shame in it. PM the page, let us know you've lost your job, and we'll pop you out a paint pack so that you can join in on these classes for the benefit of your own sanity. At least it helps with me anyway. I love painting. It really does soothe the savage heart, or whatever, however the saying goes. All right, so there we go. There is my first mountain range. So the next one, we're going to do one more mountain range off the back of this, and it is going to be in black paint. So this time, no mixing. Give your brush really good wash, really good scrub on your cloth. Getting your tapered paintbrush again. It's the one I use it for everything. You're going to hear it every class, every time. It'll be, Yana's using a tapered paintbrush again. And we're going to paint another hilly background. And you want to overlap in some spots. I think it just makes it look a bit cooler. I think that's looking pretty good to me. All right, and then you just want to paint it in. This was one of the first classes we offered, and it is one that is painted across many sip and paint providers because it's an open access one. But it is a really nice starter painting, and if you haven't painted before, you'll find that this one is reasonably easy and will allow you to learn without too much pressure and too much fine motor for this one. So it's also good if you have fine motor issues, this painting is probably going to be good for that, which is cool. So just creating smooth lines. If you're finding, see when I do this, can you see how the paint sort of grips to the canvas and leaves a whole bunch of canvas coming out? If that's happening to you, mix more water in with your paint. Rather than putting more paint over the top, just add a little bit of water to your paint and you will find that it smooths straight across that canvas much more easily that way. Feels very strange talking to myself. Beck Jean, yay, thanks, lovely kids who oh yeah, no, go for it, have fun. Yeah, we're going to be releasing them each week. I'll be doing a different one each week. I can't remember what I've planned for the next one. I thought there was some flowers coming up, and there were a couple of our artworks that we do in class will be there coming up as well. I probably should put a bit of a schedule together because people are asking, they want to be able to join in too, even if they haven't lost their jobs, which of course we're welcoming people to do. So the packs are all available online, and I might just, I'll probably release a schedule after I get off this. It's probably common sense, didn't think to do it. Yana's been flying by the seat of her pants lately, so as things come up, I sort of deal with them. It's been crazy, but anyway, so we're just blocking in this black paint. Hey Em, welcome to Facebook Live. Good to see you. Look at all these people popping in to say hello. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and I shall answer them for you promptly. Coming towards the end of this piece now. Again, it's such a good beginner piece, and it's actually really good across a lot of ages. If you're a beginner adult and you want something that's going to boost your confidence as a first go, this is a great one to do. All the colours are available from most art stores. Of course, you can buy them from us too. Welcome Home and Gifts in Goodna are wonderful. They have all the colours there. I went in to check again how their stock levels are going. Their stock levels are going wonderfully, so we're all good on that front. If you can't get it from us, you can get it from them. And of course, if you've lost your job off the back of COVID, please PM the page. We will give you a free pack. It's nothing glamorous, but it includes a paintbrush, and it includes paints and a little book for you to be able to paint along and join in on these mental health minis. So there you have it. I am coming towards the end. Usually towards the end of a piece like this, I like to go around and just make more vibrant any parts that I wasn't, like because we're using paints for this painting that are high water content. While you paint, the water evaporates off and it leaves the pigment behind. I do find that sometimes that the colours become a little less vibrant. They dull down a little bit as they dry, so you can double back to anywhere that you weren't totally happy with and just brighten up the colours. But I'm actually pretty happy with this today. I've made a little boo-boo at the top, which I'll go and fix now that the paint has dried a little bit. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to have to pop next door and thank that fellow for those lovely bath salts that he's left us. Oh, I miss your face too, Emma. I miss your face too. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's how you paint sunset. I call this one sunset. So just to go back over it, just to reiterate the way to do it, we start with our purple paints. We're using a dark purple paint to begin with. We paint that in an arc at the top, bring it right up to the corners. Make it quite thick because that's the darkest point of our picture. Here is where our light source is coming from, just here. Then we did another rainbow band of the red, which we blended back into the purple, and then we did a band of orange, which we blended back into the red, and then a band of yellow, which basically came in as a big yellow rectangle to cover that bottom part of the picture, blended it back into the orange. Then we added 2 parts white to 1 part purple to create a light purple colour. We popped in a purple range behind, and then we used black to finish it off into another range. So that's basically it. This is how we paint sunsets. So this will go back. Oh, look at all those love hearts and stuff. Oh, I got a grumpy face too. Oh no, who am I making grumpy? I hope I'm not making anyone grumpy. So yeah, you just basically, this is the painting. So you can jump online, you can download the video to show you how to do it. You can pause this. If you go into the videos on our Facebook page, once this broadcast is finished, it will be live there and you'll be able to pull it down. And I think the original, there is a tutorial somewhere online, so I'll find that and I'll post it as well, just so you can see who the original creator of the artwork was. Again, this one's been done to death by so many studios, but yeah, just acknowledge, well, whoever, I'm not actually sure who the original was, but the person I found who did a copy tutorial of it, I will post that in the comments as well, so you can have a look. But otherwise, this is it. So again, if you've lost your job and you need a bit of a perk, please jump onto our Facebook page, PM the page. We are giving away free packs for people that have been adversely affected by COVID, just to pop you up. We'll be doing these every Wednesday at 12. They're absolutely free. We are not charging for them. We basically just want to promote well-being and support those people who really need the cheer up at the moment. So I'm just going to go and have a look at the comments, see if there's anything else to reply, and if there's not, I'm going to leave you to your wonderful day. So, Emma, I miss your face. I miss your face too, my love. Jodie Cox, thank you. You have cheered me up today. Thanks, Jodie. I hope so. I hope we cheer a lot of people up. I think I wanted to start with lovely, bright colours. It's such a bright, beautiful, bright piece. So hopefully that does cheer everyone up, and I shall leave you with that. All right, have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you for joining me for for mental health minis, and you will see the video go straight up after we've done this. All right, see you later. Bye.